Morning, folks. How's everybody? This is Rick here and my fiance Rose. We're in Colorado this morning, northbound on Interstate 25 from Trinidad. Get a little charge at Pueblo, then head directly into the mountains going to Breckenridge. The wind is still fierce, but a beautiful day. There's no dirt in the sky here. But FSD is having a little bit of a hard time keeping it in the road. So it's kind of interesting. We're way off the road here. Wind blowing us off the road. Car's not reacting. So it was exciting last night on the road when we left you. We had a couple of cameras that were occluded. I cleaned all the cameras and the windshield off, so don't have any excuses today. But the wind is from the west it must be 40 miles an hour or more. See, we're just riding over here. The car's not correcting. Wind is blowing off the road. It's not a gust, it's a steady wind, and the truck is not correcting. Maybe we have to assist it a bit. Or maybe I'll just get in the left-hand lane. Let's try that. If it'll change lanes. Truck will not stay on the road. Okay, I'll put it over here in the left-hand side. Let's see how it does. I don't want to go over there. Truck is blowing and changing to the right. We have to stay in the left to fight the wind. So I have to have hurry mode for that. So it'll stay in the left-hand lane. Now it's still pulling us over. Wow. Wind is blowing us off the road. Already preconditioning for our charge, 72 miles away. Well, then we'll turn kind of west to be driving right into it, into the mountains. The wind will be fine there. If you have traveled to, like from Texas to Oklahoma, you know, here in Trinidad, the very southeast portion of Colorado, it's kind of flat, not extremely pretty. But the mountains over to the west are gorgeous, covered in snow. Got it on hurry and I've got it up to 85, but she doesn't want to even get up to the speed limit. I think the wind has her spooked. It's okay, babe, we'll do this together.
What is that?
That blocks snow. It's like a wall for snow that will slide down that hill and keep it from covering up maybe a train track. That may be train cars on a train track, babe. But there are places where you see they've built like a wall to hold back snow that falls. Those are those are cars that hold the big boxes, you know,
Yeah,
the
it's a
cargo
train.
boxes. Yes, they're more obvious now. Those hold the big cargo boxes. Saw a Bucky sign back there leaving town and said Bucky's 228 miles. I'm not sure that's even in Colorado. Maybe north of Denver, maybe.
How many hours to arrive there?
Be there at 3:30. You should lay your chair back and take a nap. Would you clean my glasses first? Thank you, babe. Sun's so bright, I'll wear these for now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Change lanes. Change lanes. Refuse to change lanes with arrow signal. No cars in the way. Wow, that wind is strong. Good afternoon again from Rick's Texas Tesla CyberBeast. We're going through some beautiful country right here. Trying to get my speed adjusted so I don't scare myself. Let's try chill mode. There we go. So we're on Highway 9, kind of northbound, headed west from Pueblo, Colorado. Now we're headed north. We're about an hour and 45 minutes away from Breckenridge. We're finally out of the wind. These farms are old. Cripple Creek to the right here. It's an old mining town. Oops. $53 degrees outside. Charged, I guess, 3 or 4 times since we left Dallas. This last one was really the first one that we had to wait. In other words, we weren't doing something. Like the first stop was in Vernon, kind of a truck stop, had a nice greasy spoon type diner inside, and went in, had a great breakfast. For a late lunch, we had a great breakfast there, and so we were there, almost an hour, and charged more than we needed. So again, no wait. We weren't waiting for the car to charge. And the next stop was Amarillo, and Rose met one of her old friends, and so they were inside talking. Well, kind of all were, with her husband too, off and on. And they were almost an hour, and I went from about 8 or 10% charge all the way to 100%. I had stopped at 90, but then we were about to wrap up talking, so I ran it up to 100. And so again, we didn't wait on it to charge, and got more juice than we actually needed to get to the next spot. But the last charge in Pueblo, it was in right across the street from the Pueblo Convention Center. It was in a first level of a parking garage. It's kind of cool, out of the weather, out of the wind. Might have heard me mention I'm a little bit of a newbie myself. I've only had this truck since 22nd of December. And one of the drawbacks you always hear about is that, you got to sit and wait all day long for it to charge, and you get gas in 10 minutes and you're on your way. Yeah, I understand that. But if there's something to do while you're there, like going to have a meal, not just going in to use the restroom for 5 minutes, but going in to have a meal or something like that, then you're not really waiting for it to charge. And the trip planner had me scheduled to stop probably 5 times yesterday, and we only stopped 2 or 3 because we had the opportunity to charge a whole lot higher. It had me just stopping for 10 minutes here, 15 here, 12 minutes here, going from 10 to 30, something like that, just short charges, which I understand the science behind that. Just stop more often, but charge it where it charges so much faster. But it just so happened we had extra time at the 2 major stops that we took. So sitting in the parking garage for 30, 40 minutes was not uncomfortable. We were in the shade, made a few phone calls, got some business taken care of. And then probably got back on the road and tried to get my camera set up again. One of them wasn't connected to the charger properly, and anyway, you can't do that kind of stuff where you're on FSD. Reminder, it's supervised FSD. If you're not watching the road, it knows. Then you get a warning, then you respond, then you get another warning, then you respond. Well, when it sees what you're doing, you get less and less time each time, and then about the 3rd time it knows that you're messing around and you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, because this is supervised FSD. And so then I got a strike, and I'm in the middle of a 3-hour drive, so I just pulled over, reset everything. So here we are. The temperature's dropping. It's 53 degrees just a couple of minutes ago. Now it's 46. It says it'll be 32 when we get to Breckenridge. And while we were waiting in Pueblo in the parking garage, we checked some live video feeds from Breckenridge, and it looked like it was snowing and people were skiing. Snow was on all the roofs, and see the cars driving by downtown. These roads are curvy. Don't know if my cameras serve justice. There's some snow up here on the side of the mountain. .44 degrees. That's why it's taken us 2.5 hours to go about 100 miles. It's curvy. Kind of brushy looking environment here. I've been this way before, and it changes. There's snowflakes in the air. cameras can get that, but it's snowing right here. Oh, look at the deer, babe. Look at the deer, babe.
So cute. That's the whole family.
Mm-hmm. And cousins. More deer over here. Dozens. And now we go down. With the snowflakes. Lots of snow. So you're getting lots of reach in going downhill. Seeing all these pretty pine trees, I feel like I can smell them already. So back on FSD, we're on 13.2.8, and until the hurricane force winds we had between Trinidad and Pueblo, it did extremely well, but it had a lot of trouble with that hard wind. And it wasn't just gusts that would, blow us out of the lane. It would just be steady wind, and it would get closer and closer and closer until it went over the edge into the, the vibration that cuts in the concrete. Let you know you're off the road. Just did it over and over. So I had to take over drive there. We got some big snowflakes coming down now. Oh, it's 37 degrees. video from yesterday, toward the end of the trip, end of a almost 12-hour drive. First, FSD flashed a deal, said that FSD might be degraded, as one or more cameras might be occluded or blinded. And then another 20 minutes went by, and then it said multiple cameras, and then FSD was disabled. So I drove the last 30 minutes, cleaned all the cameras off this morning, and everything seems to be just fine. I didn't see anything on the cameras either. Didn't have any rainstorm, but there was a lot of dust in the air. Got some large snowflakes coming down right now. We're down to 34 degrees. Love how FSD slows down for these turns. Speed limit's 55, but it slows down to 40 on some of these turns. And again right here. When we left the charger, it said we'd arrived in Breckenridge with 18%. Stayed a little bit longer because it was going to have me just arrive with 10%. And there's not a supercharger in Breckenridge, but 10 miles up the road in Frisco, there's a version 4. So I wanted to go like to 15 or 18%. But because these winding roads, and we're up to 24% now. As this camera might be showing you, I've got my cell phone mounted up here on the holder up high above the Tesla screen. Hopefully get a little better photos of the scenery, which is mostly white now. It's melting on the road. Oh, we're down to 32 degrees. So that's a 12, 15 degree drop in a couple of miles. Don't think we passed anybody, or very few people. We're on Highway 9, if I didn't mention. Runs basically from Canyon City up to Frisco, where it dead ends into I-70.
Oh, snow.
That's what I've been saying today. It's incredible.
I need to pee.
Did you take a little nap?
Yeah. I need to pee.
Okay. can't see where the next bathroom stop is, but I'm sure there will be one. These are big flakes. Speed limit's 55, but I think 50 works good for me.
Don't let this car drive yourself.
I am.
We are in a cliff.
I've got it turned down. Some cows down there eating grass in the snow. Their backs are white. Down to 30 degrees.
What is it? Celsius.
Celsius, that would be about -2.
Oh gosh, I can't see the pioneers. So cold in the middle of nowhere.
Still falling 29 degrees. You look sideways, you can see the snow just blowing so hard. Big snowflakes.
Looks like rain.
And didn't you say there was going to be no snow? Sometimes I know what I'm talking about.
The next cafe is 18 miles.
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
that'll be about 19 minutes.
Oh,
28 degrees. That's
should you stop it in the last city?
I asked you if you want to stop, wait to the next city. Your rear view vision is perfect. We pull over here and stop? No?
No. Some car came coming. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Do you want to mention that?
Yeah. Perfect. Yummy. My size too. This is a 4-bite marshmallow.
The banana is a cooler, right? Yeah.
Bought these for the grandkids to make s'mores. It's rainy, never got around to that.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Thank you for the snack. We had a pretty good breakfast at the hotel this morning. I've never seen an automatic pancake maker. But it makes 2 at a time. Squirts the dough or the batter down on a conveyor belt. I guess. Couldn't see the inside, but
You brought them.
yes, this is being recorded. Excuse me for chewing in front of y'all. Anyway, this pancake maker, open the top of it, you can see a bag of the batter. Hit a button, makes 2. Oh, 1, 2. And then about a minute and a half, the first one rolls out. And then 20, 30 seconds later, the next one rolls out. Cooked pretty well. Done both sides. I don't think there's room for it to flip them inside. It must be heated from both sides.
somebody else can leave it. We didn't know that. No neighbors, no nothing.
Some people like that. Is the next town Fair Play, or did it say? Fair Play. No more strikes, please. But when you're driving on FSD, you really can't do much of anything. Can't check your messages. It's hard to look at the map to see where you're supposed to be going. Now the road is dry here and no snow. Well, it's still a little bit coming down. Speed limit just went up to 65. I feel comfortable right here. Well, the streets are dry. When I was little, I came to Colorado with my parents and my grandparents in a station wagon. So my mother's side, her daddy's name was Charles Lon Webster, L-O-N for Lon. He went by Lon. And my grandmother was Lucy Webster. And I think that was short for Lucille. And I named my truck Lucille. Just an angel of a woman. But when my brother and I were little, all the cousins, all the kids, called them Mama Lou and Poo Poo. P-O-O, P-O-O, Mama Lou and Poo Poo. And that nickname fit my grandfather. He was a mess. Always teasing you, always making jokes, always trying to embarrass you. I think I might have a little bit of that in me. This will be pretty exciting in the dark. And in heavy snow. The lights would be reflecting off the snow, be completely blinded. And I've heard that messes with FSD pretty bad also. Mountains are getting more majestic up ahead of us. The town of Breckenridge is elevation of about 96 or 9,700 feet, 9,700 feet up. It's almost 2 miles above sea level. The air is thin, thin. The people that live up here, they get used to it because their lungs are used to working all the way. You know, we live down near sea level like we do in Texas. Just barely work your lungs just because that's all you need to. But up here you got to use the full capacity. So visitors usually have some altitude sickness the first day or two. Lack of oxygen gives you a headache. Back up to 32 degrees. Now we're going to arrive at 26%. So we've gained 8% on the anticipated battery level from the charger. We were using air conditioning when we got in the car this morning. Now I feel the warm air blowing. As you can see from the camera here, we're getting hit from the west with a lot of wind, but we're still on the road. And a little bit of a valley here with a lot of wide open spaces going east and west.
2 miles, meu Deus.
2 miles?
Yeah.
Good,
Badger Racing Country.
good. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick time out for a bathroom break. Maybe get something to drink, maybe something to eat. Thanks for riding along with us. If you have any suggestions or comments, please leave us a note. Don't forget to hit that like and share button and subscribe. See you next time.